Lorraine of District 32, and I've got the absolute pleasure of having a conversation today with Debbie Millard of DHM Coaching. How are you, Debbie?
I'm great this morning, thank you, Lorraine.
Well, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. Debbie, you're going to present for us at the Pathway to Growth full-day training session around making friends with your numbers. But before we get into that and into the nitty-gritty, I'd love to learn a little bit more about yourself. So what is DHM Coaching? What do you do? Who do you do it for?
Thank you, Lorraine. An absolute pleasure to be here, and I just thank you for the opportunity to be part of the conference. So, what am I all about? I'm all about helping business owners to make friends with their numbers. So, what gives me, puts me in the position to be able to do that? I am an accountant and have been for over 30 years. And have had the pleasure of working with sort of many and varied businesses, primarily sort of private businesses. And I'm also a coach. I'm a qualified coach. So where I find myself now is really stitching those two things together. And for me to be able to bring my gift, which I feel is my financial literacy, combined with a coaching approach to help those who don't find numbers easy, who aren't from a finance background, to actually make friends with those numbers. And I like to think I can do that, being very personable. People have told me, Debbie, are you sure you're an accountant? You've got far too much personality. And so I think that's an asset, and that's something that's, that's something that's different and unique about me. And that enables me to, I guess, share the art of accounting, if you like, using everyday language that non-financial people can actually grasp and understand. So that's
beautiful.
That's my thing, and that's what I am, and that's what brings me joy, I guess, is to be able to make accounting and numbers approachable to almost anybody.
And even your introduction to it was clear and simple, right? So that's going to give some people some ideas. Now, I have seen subsets of some of your workshops and the information that you share, and every single participant, including myself, without fail, will say, oh my God, was it that simple? Right? Now I understand. It's like, so yeah, that's a bit of I guess an introduction to the workshop and what you do. So Debbie, on the day, you're delivering a workshop about how to make friends with your numbers. What are the outcomes that people can expect, and why is it essential that people get this information?
So a big part of the outcomes of the workshop is to build people's confidence, or to build the confidence of the participants, because from my experience, I know there's an awful lot of business owners, an awful lot of leaders in business, a lot of directors on boards who they just bluff their way through this stuff. They're not from a financial background. They don't like to put their hand up and admit that they don't know, and they find it difficult. And as a consequence of that, people are making some really poor decisions, or just delegating it to, oh, my accountant's got that, my bookkeeper's got that, that's kind of okay. And my point is, well, that's actually not okay. This is your business, this is your show, you need to be all over it. And finances, and as I know you're an advocate for this, Lorraine, finance is such a key and crucial part of understanding your business and enabling you to make some really good business decisions. So, the outcomes of the workshop were to inspire confidence, because they'll walk away having a better understanding of the language of accountants and actually knowing, okay, what is a balance sheet? Why does it balance? What's that all about? What are some of the terms? Some of these terms I've seen bandied around, like equity, retained earnings, that people go, oh, what's all that? I've got no idea. It's like, we'll explore some of that and just talk to it in very simple, straightforward language. And as a consequence of that, I like to think people will go away, they feel more confident, which means they can have a more constructive relationship with their bookkeeper or their accountant, because they now feel like, okay, I know what that is now, so I can ask some questions. I can ask some more insightful questions. I can also feel comfortable and feel confident that when I get given my numbers, perhaps from my accountant, I know what I'm looking for. I know what these things mean. And also to know what to ask their accountant if they're not getting their profit and loss or their balance sheet or whatever it is, to actually now know this is important. I know why it's important, and I know what I need to be asking my bookkeeper or my accountant to do for me to help me get on top of the numbers in my business. And as a consequence of which, it's all about understanding the story. And that's how I like to think of numbers. You know, your accounts are just a numerical version of the story of your business. And it's important as business owners that we can read that.
It's very important. It's also important, Debbie, I love the question that you answered for us before, and it's another common question for business owners is, where did the profit go? The sheet says I made some profit, but there's no money in the bank. Where did it go?
Yeah, exactly, Lorraine. And that is such a common misconception of so many business owners, that it's all about the cash that they've got in the bank, and not understanding necessarily that the cash and profit are two completely separate things. So we'll be able to explore that, and also help business owners understand why the balance sheet isn't just the domain of your accountant or your bookkeeper, and why it is an important document for you to be able to understand and know what's in it. Like, you know, we've all heard some horror stories of business owners, you know, being made aware too late in the piece that they've got this significant tax liability that they can't actually fund. They don't have the cash, and they had no idea. Why did they have no idea? Well, one, perhaps their accountant or bookkeeper wasn't keeping them abreast, but also they weren't seeing part of their accounts. And if they did see them, perhaps they just didn't understand what they were looking at, or didn't like to ask the questions.
So Debbie, thank you very much. You know, I'm a massive fan. I'm a massive fan of understanding your numbers in business. I'm a massive fan of what you do and how you bring in the two different areas of your own expertise to deliver this in a way that is palatable, really understandable, and that makes a difference in your business, right? You need to have
absolutely, and it's fun, and that's what I like to do, Lorraine. Is also, let's, you know, it's a serious subject, but let's let's take some of that fear and angst away, because I appreciate that there's a lot of business owners, it's not their favorite subject, it's not their area of genius, and there could be a sense of anxiety around it. And it's about me being able to take that away, making it approachable, and we'll have a little bit of fun along the way.
So Debbie, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you at the Pathway to Growth programme. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorraine, and I look forward to you all joining me.
We'll see you then. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers.